Hello everyone. So me and my friends have worked on the analysis of credit card customer information dataset. So let me give you the introduction of our project. First point is about the significance of credit card. Credit cards have become the necessary tool in today's financial environment. It has very much influence on consumer finance. It is the key of determining the consumer behavior and its financial decision making. Next point is about the importance of financial institution. It is essential to study credit card use behavior for strategic decision making and profitability, also for the customer satisfaction. Our objective is about the deriving the insight from the credit card customer information, and also the financial institution can optimize the services and offering with the help of the objective. Next, I will tell you about our data. So our data has all the information about the credit cards of the year 2018 and 19. It has all the customer informations like encompasses demographics like uh, client numbers, its ages and gender, financials like incomes, credit card limits, and credit card categories. Our focus is about the credit card limit, attrition flag, and average utilization ratio. Credit card limit is about it reflects the extension of customers. Attrition flag reflects crucial for identifying the customer attrition, and average utilization ratio is about average credit card utilization and its metric for analysis. Its behavior is about the transaction counts, months, and inactivity, and contact frequency captured facilitates a holistic view of customer interaction. Next is about the problems we faced during this data set. First is about the data imbalance. The credit card limit column contain the outliners, and we remove that outliners as it could influence on our hypothesis. Next is about the feature selection. We analyze the correlation and distribution of features and removed some features which did not contribute as much as on hypothesis testing. So this is our EDA and attribute understanding. The first column represents all the columns represented in the data set. Second is about its description about the data set, and also variable type, which is numerical or categorical. And we get the mean, standard, and minimum and maximum values after completing EDA. This is the data visualization. Data visualization is about insights into the key attribution of the dataset, and such as age distribution, credit card limit, variability, transaction behavior. They help in understanding the range and patterns within these variables, which is essential for data exploration and analysis. Let me tell you about the hypothesis of interest. Our first hypothesis is about investigating whether there is a significant gender disparity along the individuals with high credit card limits, or there any factor which influences the credit card limit. Our second hypothesis explores the potential relation between the credit card utilization and likelihood of customer experiencing attribution. Now I'll tell my group mates to continue our presentation.
Importance of hypothesis test. The first one is that it will help the financial institutions to make strategic decisions. With deep dive statistics, it will help them to better understand customer behavior in credit card services. It will help the companies to tackle challenges and capitalize on emerging opportunities and stay ahead of the competition. Secondly, hypothesis will help financial institutions to mitigate their risk and improve customer satisfaction. They will be able to identify signs of attrition at an early stage. Hence, they can implement target retention strategies for reducing financial impact. The study will result into deeper understanding of customer preference and behavior, and the bank can use them to meet the customer expectations. Hypothesis test 1. The objective is to test whether the percentage of males within the population have a credit limit exceeding 25,000 surpasses 90% or not. The null hypothesis states that the proportion of male is greater than 90%, whereas the alternative hypothesis states that the proportion of male is less than 90%. We use Z-test to test our hypothesis, and this is the code and the output for it. In the result, we failed to reject the null hypothesis. Hence, There is enough evidence to suggest that the percentage of males within the population having a credit limit exceeding $25,000 is more than 90%. 90%. But then we wanted to find if gender really affects the credit limit or not, and if so, is gender the only factor? So we did analysis and found a strong correlation between credit limit and two other key factors, that is education level and income category. These two variables have more impact on credit limit because individuals with higher education belong to higher income category and those with higher income have a higher credit limit. These two graphs exhibit the same. As you can see, higher the income range, the more is the credit limit. And similarly, higher is the education level, the more is the credit limit. Then we wanted to find whether gender affects the credit limit to some extent or not. So we decided to perform chi-square test to find out if there is any relation or not. The null hypothesis states that there is no association between gender and credit limit, whereas the alternative hypothesis states that there is an association between gender and credit limit. This is the code and the output of the chi-square test. The output fails to reject the null hypothesis. There is not enough evidence to suggest an association between gender and credit limit. The initial hypothesis says that there is a higher male representation, but evidence suggests no strong correlation and gender might not be a decisive factor, but instead education level and salary surely affect the credit limit.
Hello everyone, I am Nayan and I will discuss the second hypothesis testing that we performed to investigate whether the utilization ratio has a significant effect on the likelihood of a customer being classified as attrited. We saw that in the credit card dataset, there is a column attrition flag which had values existing customer and attritional customer, and in the utilization ratio values were from 0 to 0.99. In this case, we made use of the logistic regression to model the relationship between the binary response variable attrition flag and the predictor variable utilization less than 0.5. Secondly, we interpreted the logistic regression results by printing the logistic regression summary and reviewed the coefficients, odds ratios, Wald statistics, and p-values. Consequently, we conducted the hypothesis test where we assumed the null hypothesis H0 as the case when the utilization ratio has no effect on the likelihood of being an attrition customer, whereas the alternative hypothesis H1 was if a person has a utilization ratio less than 0.5, then the chances of being an attritional customer would be higher. This This is the code snippet for logistic regression in testing our hypothesis 2. After implementing all this, we observed that the p-value associated with the utilization less than 0.5 coefficient from the logistic regression result. This p-value was found to be a very small value of 1.14 to the power of 10 raised to minus 12. From this, we decided to reject the null hypothesis. That is, we found that there was a significant effect of utilization ratio on the likelihood of being an attritional customer. Later, we compared our logistic regression with another model that was chi-square test. In uh, this chi-square test also gave us the same results which we obtained in the logistic regression. Below is the code snippet for its implementation. In conclusion, while the initial hypothesis suggests a higher representation of males among individuals with a credit limit exceeding $25,000, the available evidence does not strongly support a significant correlation between gender and credit limits. This implies that gender might not be a decisive factor in determining credit limits. Instead, the findings suggest that variables such as educational level and income play more pivotal roles in shaping credit limits. This nuanced perspective emphasizes the intricate nature of credit assessment processes, warranting further exploration into the multifaceted factors influencing credit limit determinations. The examination of the credit card customer information dataset has provided valuable insights into the interplay between the utilization ratio and customer attrition also. The logistic regression model reveals a substantial impact of the utilization ratio on the probability of a customer being classified as attritional. Specifically, the coefficient associated with the binary variable utilization less than zero point 0.5 demonstrates statistical significance, indicating that customers with a utilization ratio less than zero point 0.5 are more prone to experiencing attrition. Furthermore, the hypothesis test on the utilization ratio coefficient yields compelling evidence to reject the null hypothesis, underscoring the critical role of the utilization ratio as a key factor influencing customer attrition.
Let's move on with the next part of the presentation, that is recommendations for business strategies. Firstly, targeted engagement strategies. Tailor marketing and engagement strategies to customers with utilization ratios below zero point 0.5. Implement targeted communication campaigns highlighting benefits, rewards, or promotions to encourage increased card usage among this segment. Secondly, personalized offerings. Leverage the understanding of customer behavior to create personalized offerings for individuals with low utilization ratios. This could include customized credit limit adjustments, promotional interest rates, or exclusive rewards to incentivize increased card utilization. Thirdly, proactive customer retention. Implement proactive customer retention programs for those identified as having a utilization ratio below the critical threshold. This may involve timely communication, specialty loyalty programs, or personalized customer service to address any potential concerns or issues. Then we have utilization education. Launch educational intensives initiatives to inform customers about the benefits of utilizing a higher proportion of their credit limits. Educate them on responsible credit card usage and showcase the advantages of maximizing available credit while maintaining financial discipline. And lastly, we have continuous monitoring and adaptation. Establish a system for continuous monitoring of customer utilization patterns. Regularly reassess the effectiveness of implemented strategies and adapt them based on evolving customer behaviors and market dynamics. Could you please move on to the next slide, Nayan? Thank you. Next, we have the limitations and future work. Representativeness and quality of data. The quality of the data set has a major impact on the results' representativeness and correctness. Secondly, we have temporal dynamics. The analysis is predicted on a moment in time which customer data was captured. Customer behavior shifts over time impacted by outside variables or the state of the economy are not fully recorded. A more dynamic understanding could be obtained from longitudinal data. And lastly, we have correlation versus causation. Although the analysis shows a correlation between utilization ratios and attrition, more research is needed to determine the cause. The relationship could be muddled by additional unobserved factors. Next slide, please. Thank you. Then we have ideas for further study. First, we have analysis of longitudinal data. Uh, this would undertake a long term investigation to monitor alterations in customer conduct. This would offer a more thorough comprehension of how utilization ratios change over time and how they affect attrition in various contexts. Then we have multivariate evaluation. Extend the analysis to encompass a larger range of factors affecting customer attrition. A more comprehensive knowledge could be aided by variables like economic indicators, customer satisfaction ratings, and usage of additional banking products. Then we have external verifications. Verify the results by working with other financial institutions or by comparing them to external data sets. This would strengthen the basis for strategic decision making and improve the results generalizability. Then lastly, we have models for machine learning. Use edge cutting machine learning models to fit interactions and nonlinear relationships between variables. This might make hidden patterns visible that are missed by conventional statistical models. So that's all we have in our presentation. Thank you so much.